Hey guys, here's part 3. Now, I realized as I was crossing off my stuff that I forgot to mention one other person I ran into, and that was Fred. He is, he and I also ran into Jeff, and the two of them are actually appear in the best accidental photo I ever took, and that was when Jeff was the Punisher and Fred was Roadblock of G.I. Joe at the Baltimore Comic-Con in 2013. I was taking a picture of Fred, and I was taking a picture of Jeff as Punisher with two guys as Ghost Rider and Cable, and I happened to get the two of them shaking hands. And when I uploaded it onto Facebook, Fred found it and praised me for it, and that is one of the reasons why I created Wise Owl Productions. And it was really cool to meet him. I met his wife, and I got basically a reunion photo of him and Jeff, and I got pictures with them as well. And I also, it was really fun. Now, this past April, my family and I went to see our team, the New York Yankees, play the Washington Nationals, who are my secondary team. And I should mention that day I saw 17 Mustangs. It was me and my parents and my two sisters, and we sat pretty close to where my dad and I had sat when we saw the Nationals play the Giants on a scorching hot day after my birthday in 2008. And I mean, it was scorching hot that particular day back then. I mean, 12:30 p.m. and the seat, you would burn your butt sitting down in the seats. But anyway, it was a really fun game. There was a quiz that a couple fans had to get, where they had to guess A, B, or C, and one of the questions was about the Cherry Blossom Parade and Festival. So I knew the answer like that, because I was attending it the following week. And, well, the guy got it wrong, but the girl, she got it right. And I had, for lunch, for food, I had peanuts, I had hot dog, and I had nachos. And I had hot cocoa, because it was really cold. And I, of course, wore my Yankees National shirt, where my National logo's here, Yankees logo's here. I wear it every time the two teams play each other, but I always end up rooting for the Yankees because I am a fan by blood, as it is in my DNA, thanks to my dad. And the Yankees won 4-3. Now Boston, I mean, the Nats took. Sorry guys, the Nats took the lead, took first blood and scored a total of 3 runs. But then the Yankees came back and scored 4. And every time Alexander Rodriguez came up to the plate, he got booed. Now, I can understand why they did that, but you know what? He was trying to prove that he could accomplish great things without steroids, and though he didn't do well in that game, he's been doing very well over the last couple months, over the last month and a half. So, good job, A-Rod. Now, next thing we'll talk about is the DC Cherry Blossom Parade and Festival, which was a week later. Bethany and I, Bethany came over to my house the night before, and we hung out in my house before and then Bethany spent the night, and the next day we went there, we met up my friend Sophie. I used this very tripod I'm using right now. Oh, I should mention that, actually, I forgot to mention that about one of the other gifts Bethany gave me, was she gave me this very tripod that which I now use. So, thank you, Bethany. Anyway, I set the tripod up, and this time, instead of being on the side of the street, on the American History Museum side of the street, we stayed on the side where the Federal Triangle Metro Station is. Sophie eventually arrived, and you know we filmed some of the parade. In fact, as we were leaving, we realized Lance Bass of NSYNC was there, was on one of the floats, and I had to get a picture because I'm not ashamed to admit I listened to NSYNC when I was in high school. Mostly because it felt weird for a guy to lip sync a female artist's music. So whenever I wasn't listening to like Britney Spears and stuff, I was listening to either the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. And I had at least one of their songs memorized. At least one song from both groups memorized back then. But anyway, I should mention ahead of time, 22 Mustangs were seen that whole day. Anyway, but as I was saying, we went to the Cherry Blossom Festival. But then when we walked out because we were meeting up with our friend Chiro, who we had met at Otakon a couple times, and he was coming, and he's going to be dressed like Kamen Rider O's. So I was wearing this, and I had this. So I was Kamen Rider Ryugen, and while we were waiting for him, we ran into a girl who was dressed like Eiji Hino, aka Kamen Rider O's, and she had a Hawk Candroid, which was pretty cool. And then eventually Jiro and some friends and a friend and one of his friends arrived, and some of his friends arrived, and as we were heading back to the festival, a woman who worked at the festival, actually was like a high-ranking employee basically, she saw Jiro and I wearing these and asked to get a picture with us. Now I should mention I left my business cards at home, so I couldn't give her a Wise Owl business card, and whoever, so the woman who did get a picture with us, when you see this, please contact me, and I'll give you a link to my Wise Owl page, to Wise Owl Productions. Anyway, the two of us assumed a henshin pose, and her friend took a photo of us. She also told us that Big Time Rush was on the floats, which I didn't get to see, but that's pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty wicked. Anyway, we walked around, and we went pretty deep into the festival. Then we turned back so we could get lunch. I got my usual takoyaki. And then afterwards, Bethany, Jiro, Rachel, and Jiro's friends and we headed to the Cherry Blossoms, where we decided to do some photo shoots. And Jiro initially started off doing a Kamen Rider shoot by himself, but then I decided to join in since I was Ryugen and he was Kota as aka Gaim. And I had this killer, and after we did our Henshin, and then assuming the stances, while waiting for the armor to materialize, I had this idea, since I had this with me, that he and I do a photo where it looks like I'm tossing him, tossing this to him, and another one where I'm handing it to him. Then when he put it in, I looked like I was trying to get the hell out of the way, because, well, anybody who's seen Gaim knows how big the watermelon armor is, and would have to get the hell out of the way. Then after we did took a lot more photos, we decided to head our separate ways. So Bethany and I head back to my house. We got Bethany's stuff, and then she went home. And that was a very fun day. And this ends part 3. More to come.